Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get to week 14. Next week, I will have a new studio. And listen, I know it's been a long wait. I know you're sick of seeing your boy on this white backdrop. I will have a studio next week working on it in my house as we speak. First game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers +3 at my Minnesota Vikings. There's not a lot of science. I'm going Minnesota to win in the cover. Listen, I never really bought into the Minnesota bandwagon, and I never bought into the Steelers bandwagon. Let's just be honest about it. These are two bad teams going at each other on a bad night to bet football, which is Thursday. But something tells me the Vikings offense is more explosive. We saw the Watt brother go off last week. We saw Mike Tomlin and Big Ben respond. We saw that coming. But one thing people need to see coming is Justin Jefferson. I want to see Kirk Cousins keep getting him the ball. I think he's the difference. And when I'm looking at both of these offenses, I'm to the point where who's going to run the ball better? And I think the Vikings run it better. That's why I think they win. Not a whole lot of science. Be careful on Thursday night. If you're betting this game, it's like chlamydia. Next game, we got the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. We got Vegas +9.5. Listen, I got Kansas City to win in the cover, and I know these big point spreads with the Chiefs are never sexy. They're never delightful, but I think the Raiders season's over. I think Heineke and Washington's defense put the final stomp on the grave, and we're just pouring in the dirt now. And listen, Carr's playing pretty good football, but is there enough help for him and Josh Jacobs on that offense? I don't see it. Zay Jones, if he would have made a play, they would have came up victorious. But you get guys like that on the field, and there's just not enough magic. And you got a Chiefs team. It's December 7th. They're peaking. At Big Red Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, you guys really thought they were going to just go out of this season without a fight, without a few haymakers. They're getting better. I'm surprised the Chiefs defense is playing better. Now, I know the Raiders offense is going to put up more of a fight than Theodore Bridgewater. I have that much respect for the Raiders offense. But like I said last week, it just feels like they're out of ideas and they're desperate. We could see some crazy stuff, but I think the Chiefs win and cover. Next game, we got the New Orleans Saints at the New York Jets. Saints are -5.5. I got Saints to win and cover. And I went back and forth on this one, but I'm looking at the Jets defense, and they're one of the worst in the league. They made Gardner Minshew look like a young Joe Montana on Sunday. It was absolutely pathetic, and I'm sick of Robert Saleh. I'm sick of Gang Green. I'm sick of everything involved in that organization. Zach Wilson doesn't even have a goddamn chance being drafted to him, and I think the Saints defense takes over. Now, I know you're saying Lawson. Come on, man. The Saints have lost so many games straight. Aren't they going to throw in the white towel? Isn't it time to wave the flag? Isn't it time for them to just surrender and go to booking.com and start looking for vacations? Listen, I get the methodology. I get the psychology, but Sean Payton's not going to let that happen. I think the Saints defense, they come out, they play a damn good game. I can't see the Jets generating more than 13 and 17 points. And honestly, the Saints offense is absolutely hapless, but the Jets have the worst goddamn defense in this league. I don't care what stats say. They are the worst defense in this league. Saints winning the cover, borderline money pick. The reason why you can't go money is because the Saints can't get quarterback play. Next game, we got the Jacksonville Jags at the Tennessee Titans. Titans are -9.5. Money, Titans to win in the cover. And we have to start doing this with the Jags. I don't like -9.5. I don't like -10. I don't like betting these. You guys know my fundamentals. But Urban Meyer, he's a problem right now. And you can look at whatever controversy you want to look at. It just feels like he quit on this team. This offense is showing no creativity whatsoever. And honestly, I think the Jags have a top 12, top 15 D. Like I said, I'm just watching film. But their offense puts their defense in such bad situations Texans. I don't know how they're going to combat this. I don't know how they're going to fight when there's just 3 and out. Lawrence throws a great pass, dropped. Lawrence throws another great pass, dropped. Offensive line, this is blocking assignment. Lawrence pummeled in the backfield. I mean, that's just what happens. I think the Titans defense takes over this game. Now, the Titans offense is always a risk. They're always inconsistent without Henry, but I think they do enough. I like the Titans with the -9.5. Next game, we got the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar at the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore's +2. I'm going Baltimore to win in the cover. Listen, they've been playing really, really bad football. And that's why we had the Steelers to cover last week. And I will say this again. The Ravens are playing extremely bad football. But on the other side of the ball, you got a man named Baker Mayfield. And I don't know if there's a quarterback in this league right now who's playing worse football than him. You can try to find that guy, or you can try to find whoever it is. I just don't know if there's a quarterback playing worse in this league than Baker Mayfield. Like, the Ravens should have won in a blowout the first game in Baltimore. Now, we know Cleveland's a tough place to play. We know Cleveland's got a great offensive line. We know that Cleveland defense is physical, they're ruthless, and they're not going to give up on the season. But this is just how bad Baker Mayfield is. Baltimore to win in the cover. Don't make it a money pick because, like I said, this Browns team is just stacked top to bottom, but they can't get quarterback play. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share the video. Go to my Instagram, Lawson Bets NFL. You guys are the reason why I'm growing. Next game, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the Carolina Panthers. Carolina is -3. Digging a trench here, mustard gas, man. I'm just staying here. I don't know where the shrapnel's coming from anymore. You don't know where the upset's coming, but I'm going Carolina winning the cover. Listen, firing Brady, listen, I don't agree with it, but they needed to make a change. Matt Rule needed to do something alpha to assert his dominance in this locker room. I think Cam Newton comes out and he plays better than Matt Ryan. I know Cam Newton's game against Miami was one of the worst in NFL history. Like, it really was. And I watched that film last week. Now, with Atlanta, you got a defense. They look better than advertised, but they're honestly beat down. You can run it on them. You can throw it on them. You can do anything you want against Atlanta's defense. Now, Carolina's offense is offensively challenged, but I think they do enough. McCaffrey won't be playing. I got Carolina to win in the cover. No science here. Next game, we got the Dallas Cowboys. Them boys at the Washington no-names. Washington is +4. Money. Washington to cover the +4. Dallas to win. I think Dallas wins by a field goal at most here. And I got a question about Dallas. You know, there's a lot of talk about Dak. There's a lot of talk about Zeke the Freak Elliott. But my talk about the Cowboys is I'm worried about this offensive line. On this Washington defensive line, even without Chase Young, they come at you in waves. They got a rotation. They got the best defensive line rotation in this league in terms of giving people rest. Players who are good in the 5 gap, 3 gap, 7 gap. They got everything, and I think this is where Washington controls this game. Now, the reason why I can't pick them to win money line is because Taylor Heineke. He tried to throw that game away against Vegas, and I'll give credit to Heineke because at least the locker room's behind him. Like, even Logan Thomas, you could just see these guys want to fight. They want to go out and put their life on the line for Heineke, and that's fine, but that doesn't mean he's good. I think Dak does something late. Dallas kicks a late field goal just to win this, but the fundamentals point towards Washington +4. I absolutely love it, and you're looking at Washington's run game, and they're starting to gel. They're starting to get going. Those big uglies are really, really physical on Washington's O-line. I think that helps, and this Dallas defense can be had. They've played pretty good this year, but they can be had. I think Washington does enough on offense. Washington +4, make it a money pick. Next game, we got the Seattle Seahawks at the Houston Texans. Seattle is -7.5. I got Seattle to win in the cover. Borderline money pick. I want to make it a money pick. Seattle played good against the 49ers. They got a little bit of help from the refs, especially on that last drive, but it is what it is. This over 42.5 is kind of scrumptious because I do think this could turn into a blowout. Texans are good at putting up garbage points, and the Seahawks offense, they should get going. Listen, this game comes down to Seattle's offense. Are they going to keep playing good? Are they going to get in rhythm? I think they do. Seattle wins and covers. Not a whole lot to say about this game. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions at the Denver Broncos. Detroit got to win. Detroit +8. I'm going Detroit to cover, Denver to win. Listen, Denver really should blow this game out, but Teddy Bridgewater, Theodore, whatever you want to call him, he's not doing enough on offense, and he's letting his team down. Now, I think Denver runs the ball good here, but I think Detroit's going to have a little bit more gusto, a little bit more verb. You know, they got that first win. They're going to be walking in a little bit more confident. Mile High is a tough place to play. There's no Detroit upset this week, even though Denver's offense can keep any team in the game, and I think they keep Detroit in the game. That's why I'm going Detroit +8 to cover, Denver to win. Next game, we got the New York Giants at the Los Angeles Chargers. Giants are +10.5. I'm going Giants to cover, Chargers to win. Now, listen. We know the Giants' offense is bad. Jake Fromm might start this week, but anything's better than Mike Glennon. I will repeat, anything is better than Mike Glennon. So this Giants defense, I don't think they're going to quit. And I'm sick of Joe Judge. Did you guys see him trying to be positive after taking that L against the Dolphins? There's nothing to be positive about with the Giants. But I think this defense will fight. And if you look at the Chargers' performances this year, they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down. They haven't found any sort of frame of consistency. I will probably be going Chargers money line. I will be pumping it. I don't see how the Giants' offense can generate enough points to win this game, nor do I think they have the gusto to do anything special. But I think that 10.5 is an awful lot for an inconsistent Chargers team. And that Chargers game against the Bengals, it was deceiving. It was 4 critical errors, unforced errors from the Bengals that gave that game away. That's the league. That's what the Chargers did last week against the Broncos, and we have to prepare for it. I don't think the Chargers come out with that same energy. That's why the Giants cover. Next game and game of the week, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady, Tampa is -3. I'm going Tampa Bay to win in the cover. People try to get me off Tampa last year. They try to get me off Tampa this year. It's not changing. Nothing's changing. Tampa Bay to win in the cover. And listen, we're looking at a Bills team that I don't think they're tough enough. And we can talk X's and O's. We can talk Brian Dable as offensive coordinator. We can talk about whatever the hell we want. But I want to look in that locker room and see if they got enough dogs, if they're nasty enough. And Tampa Bay is still competing for a bye. I think they come out here. I think Tampa Bay swings a big stick. Tampa Bay's offense has a lot of matchups against the Bills they can exploit. But a matchup I don't think a lot of people are going to be talking about is big Leonard Fournette going downhill 17 to 18 times a game. And I'm not so sure the Bills can stop it. The Bills can't even stop the run when they put 8-9 men in the box. They're going to have to go 7 in the box against King Brady and Big Fournette. When he's going downhill, he got a small defensive line already. He's just going to boom. He's just going to combust them. And that's what's going to happen this game. Now, we know this Bills offense, you never want to count them out. You never want to count Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs out. But I think the Bills are counting Stephon Diggs out as it is. And there just hasn't been enough targets for him this year. There hasn't been good enough play design. I'm a Cole Beasley guy, but, you know, should Cole Beasley be getting 10 targets a game when Stephon Diggs is getting 4 or 5? I mean, should we be throwing to Dawson Knox every time in the red zone when we got Stephon Diggs? Should we be throwing Emmanuel Sanders 7 times when we haven't worked the ball to Diggs yet? I mean, those are the type of problems, and the Bills can't run the ball on offense. And listen, you know, Tampa Bay, they always stop the run. They always stop the run, and the Todd Bowles defense will always do that to you. But the Bills aren't going to run the ball, and they're not going to show run-pass balance. And if you're just throwing it every time against Tampa Bay, eventually this front's going to get to you. And this Bills offensive line, they can be beat up. And, you know, they're talking about they got Spencer Brown back at right tackle. Bro, he's not even good. They're going to get their ass whooped unless they get some sort of run-pass balance, and I don't see it coming down the turnpike. I don't see it happening, man. And then it goes back to my thesis statement about this game. I mean, is Buffalo tough enough? Is Buffalo nasty enough? Do they got enough gusto? I don't think so. Tampa Bay wins and covers, and you know what? Money. Tampa Bay wins and covers. It's a money pick. Next game, we got the Chicago Bears, the Bears, at the Green Bay Packers. How about that future bet 3 weeks ago? It's looking pretty good now. Green Bay for the Super Bowl. Chicago plus 12.5 in this game. Listen, I'm giving Chicago a pity cover here and Green Bay to win. It's just, I have to play Sigmund Freud now and say, are the Packers going to come out to kill them? Also, how much energy does the Chicago defense have left? How much do they want to lay their body on the line for a sinking ship, for a bald fraud and Matt Nagy, for a ginger quarterback who doesn't play with much gusto? How much does this defense want to give? I respect their professionalism. That's why I'm going with Chicago to cover the plus 12.5. They're monitoring field situation. It looks like he should play this week. I think that helps Chicago a little bit. And I've had this argument with people back and forth the whole year. I think Fields gives this team more confidence, more gusto, and they need it. They need big plays wherever they can get them on offense. Chicago might have the worst offense in this league. You know, it's fun to pick on the Jets. It's fun to pick on the Texans. But as of right now, the stuff I'm watching, this Chicago offense might be the worst. I mean, Detroit's always in the discussion, but at least they look like they're improving. This Bears team just looks like they're in shambles and it's all burning down. I'm going Chicago to cover, Green Bay to win. Just don't bet this one unless you're pumping Green Bay money line. Next game and Monday Night Football, we got the Los Angeles Rams, McVay at the Zona Cardinals. Rams plus 3, and I'm going on the dark side, and I'm going to get a bunch of shrapnel for this. Give me the Rams to win in the cover. I really like them with the plus 3. Listen, I know Kyler and DeAndre came back, and they put a big spanking on the Bears, and we're all supposed to pay attention. We're all supposed to be scared. I'm not. And listen, I haven't seen anything from the Rams for me to believe in them. You know, pounding the Texans, pounding the Jags doesn't really impress me. You know, it's just one of those things that's going to impress the casuals, the average Joes who have FanDuel in their cell phone, but it really doesn't impress me. So let me get to this game. I've been saying all year, I'm not a big fan of this Arizona offensive line, and they look really good the first 5-6 weeks. But you're starting to see teams get the rush on them a little bit. And if you can get to Kyler with 4 rushers, you're going to have a good day. This kid will make 4 or 5 breathtaking dimes every single game. That's just how good he is. And I'm showing him the proper respect. But also you need to show the Rams the proper respect. I think their defensive line is the difference in this game. Now, the Rams offense, it's a mystery, man. And I just hope they run the ball and use play action. If they start throwing it 65, 70% of the time, they're going to lose this game. That's why it's not a money pick, because I don't trust McVay. Now that he's got Stafford, he just wants to throw it every play. And that's not how this offense is built, and that's not what Matt Stafford's built for. Matt Stafford really isn't built to be a gunslinger, because he lets 4 or 5 throws completely sail and get away every game. And you can't lose the turnover battle. I think Rams run the ball better than Zona. I think Kyler takes too many hits. I think Kyler gets out of rhythm. Rams win and cover. Maybe a little bit of Odell. We saw him get involved against Jacksonville, but don't put too much stock in that. Rams win and cover, not a money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. This is the best gambling show on the internet. Go to my Instagram, Lawson Bets NFL. Let's get this money.